Alrighty, so to start off, as you guys can see, I have a clean face. I'm going to start off with brows, and for my eyebrows, I do use the Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Granite. So I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to take the Morphe M148 brush, and I'm just going to start filling in my brows. My eyebrow routine has changed a little bit. I know it's been a very long time since I've been on here, but it did change a little bit, but not too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and start filling them in. So I do start like here. I don't start from the beginning of my brow. I start here, and then I kind of just start working the product in. And then with whatever I have left, then I will kind of apply that just a little bit, but it's not as dark. And then same thing for the top of my brow. I don't start from the beginning, and then I'm gonna start to give myself like a little arch that I don't have. And then I just take more product, and then I'm just gonna fill in pretty much like the middle and the end of my brow. And again, as you guys can see, as I'm getting towards here, I'm not grabbing more product. I'm just working with whatever I have left on my brush. Okay, so I kind of just stop there. Then what I do now is I get the spoolie side, and then I literally just brush it out. And what this does is it applies a little bit of product towards like the front, but you see how it kind of is a little bit lighter and it's not as dark. It kind of gets darker as like my brow goes. So that's kind of what I started doing, like a little bit different, as you guys can see, just so it doesn't look as like harsh in the beginning here. So that's pretty much all I do to my brow. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and conceal my brows, which is the same, and then I will be back and then we'll start on the face. Okay, so I went ahead and I concealed my brows, and this is what the brows are looking like. So now for skin prep. This has changed a little bit. I've gotten a lot better at like using skincare, like doing my makeup or skin prep, I should say. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you a couple of the products that I use. I switch off. I don't ever use all of them like at the same time. But to start off, I sometimes go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. And obviously this one is a moisturizer, so sometimes I'll go in with this one. Sometimes I'll go in with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enrich Face Base. This one's another good one. And then as far as moisturizers, that's it. And then after that, I do go in with the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide. I don't know if I said that, but the Dew Drops, and it looks like this. And then after that, then I go in with primer. If it is hot outside, depending on like the weather, then I'll go in with the La Roche-Posay, the SPF moisturizer. But I'm not going out today. So for today, I think I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown one. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this one. This one is pretty pricey, but I do feel like this does make a difference in like my skincare and like how my base ends up looking. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit of that and then just massage that all over my face. So after that, I'm just going to go ahead and let that dry down. But after that, I do go in with the Glow Recipe Glow Drops. Okay, so now that I had some time to sit, now I'm just going to go ahead and take the Glow Recipe. And I take about that much. I don't get too much. It's just like enough to cover like my entire face. And I just go in. And honestly, the key to like the skin prep is to let the products soak into your skin. You have to think about it as if you're kind of just putting layers on top of layers on top of layers. You're not really letting those layers or those products set into your skin, so everything's just going to start moving. So the key is to let everything soak in, and you can honestly just keep rubbing it until you feel like it's not moving so much. But I'm just going to go ahead and let that dry. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead again and tell you guys some of the primers that I kind of stick between and I'll switch off with. So sometimes I will go in, and this one I just barely started using, but I am a fan of, and it's the One Size Secure the Blur Primer. It looks like this. So I will go in with this one sometimes. I am more of a matte type of girl, so all of the products and this obviously tutorial is going to be a matte kind of makeup routine. Another one is the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. This one is more for like the pores and to give it more of like that airbrush look. So it looks like this. And then the last one, which I do tend to reach for this one a little bit more, is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. If you guys don't have this one, you guys can definitely get your hands on the e.l.f. one. And I've heard it works just as good, and I've got it myself, and I feel like it really is the same thing. But because I have this one, that's the one that I tend to go for. But lately what I have been doing, I've been going in with these two. So I'll go in with this one more for like the outer parts of my face, and then I'll do the Secure the Blur because I do feel like the Secure the Blur is more for pores. Then I will apply that just in this area where I tend to have the most pores. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do today. So again, I'm going to go in with this one, taking just about a pump like that, because I'm going to apply this just on the outer parts of my face. And with this one, I kind of tap it in, and this one is very, very sticky. If you guys have this product or you guys have like used it, you guys know what I'm talking about. And that's kind of what you want to look for in a primer, is the sticky and the tackiness to it, because that's what's going to make your foundation really stick onto your skin. So I kind of just tap that to work that in, and then with whatever I have left, I will bring here. Okay, so then after that, I will take a little bit. This one I don't apply much because it is just in this area here. So I'll literally just apply like that much. And then I will take that. Actually, oh yeah, that's okay. And then I'll just apply that there. Again, I'm going to let that sit. And while that is sitting, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what foundation we're going to be trying. And I'm going to tell you guys another affordable one that I feel like works just as good, honestly. And I did use this one back in the day when I was like in beauty school, but I feel like because I wasn't really into makeup and I didn't know how to work with it, I just didn't really like it. But my friend actually put me back on to this one, and when I grabbed it and I started using it again, I was like, oh my gosh, where has this been like my whole life? Again, I am more of a matte type of girl, so these products and foundations and stuff are going to be more on for like a matte type of girl. But the one that I was using for a really long time is the L'Oreal 24-hour Infallible Pro Matte. This one right here, guys, it is super, super good and super full coverage. It's like a medium coverage, but you can definitely build it up to a fuller coverage. And this one, I have to say, hands down, is probably one of my favorite drugstore foundations. Another one that I do use that is on the higher end is the Too Faced 24-hour matte one. That one is really good. But for today's video, again, I did used to use this one before, but I stopped using it. I feel like because I didn't find my right foundation shade, I just didn't really like it. But it's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and this one obviously is on the higher end side. So I really, really like this one. So if you are looking for more of a full coverage, then I definitely would say to get your hands on this one. And I am in the shade 3W1. I do have 3W 1.5, but this one obviously is a little bit darker than this one, so I feel like this one, when I was applying it, it was like a little bit too dark, so I went ahead and I picked up just the one. But summer, I think I'm gonna go back to use 1.5. Okay, so then now to apply the foundation, I do apply some to the back of my hand, and I do kind of go in with this one because I like a really full coverage. But I will take it and I would just apply it like this. And then what I started doing different, which I have never really done, because if you go back to my old videos, you guys know I'm more of like a beauty blender type of girl. But I do feel like doing this technique really does help give me the most coverage, and that is going in with the brush first and kind of blending it out, and then going in with the beauty blender, I'm sorry. So I'm going to go with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH03, so it's a big foundation brush. And I do feel like this technique or this method of applying the foundation really does give me more of a fuller coverage look. And I don't spend too much time with this, like blending it in. Again, this is just to kind of get it into my skin, because I will go back in with my beauty blender, and then that's where I'll do like the blending in of everything. But And I'm not going to do any eyeshadow today just because I really want to focus on the foundation and like the base of everything. But as you guys can see already, it covered so much. You guys can see like my eyes were more like on the pinky red side. And if I were to apply foundation to that, it would like completely just go away. So now that I have that, then now we'll go in with the Beauty Blender. And this is the EXO Cosmetics Beauty Blender. And honestly, this one is a lot squishier than the Beauty Blender. And I really have been loving this one. So then now I'll just literally go in and just start to tap that in. And I feel like this kind of helps my makeup last all day. Just because I'm really pressing it into the skin. And making sure that I'm going to like set it into place. But other than that, this is the only time that you will see me pick up a brush to blend any products out onto my face besides cream contour, which I will get into that. Okay. And then now for concealer. If you guys go back to my old videos, you guys know I was a ride or die fan for the Tarte Shape Tape. And if you guys have been on TikTok, because TikTok influences you to buy everything and anything, I got the Hourglass concealers, and honestly I had used this one before, again when I was in beauty school, but I kind of just used it all and then I never went back to repurchase it. But this has been like my holy grail and I love this concealer. So I do use a couple of shades, but the first one that I do go in with is Cotton, and I'll apply this one just because this one isn't really like to highlight, even though obviously it is lighter than like my foundation, as you guys can see, but I like a really bright under eye. So after I apply that, then I'll go in with Birch, and this is the lightest shade that I have, and I'll apply this one like directly underneath my eye, but only on that area, like only on the inner part of my eye. And then after that, then I'll go back in with my Beauty Blender, and then I'll just start to blend that in. And this concealer is very creamy, and it is very full coverage. As you guys can see, that it's covering everything. And then I do apply that over my eye. Alrighty, and now moving on to bronzer. I just recently started using this one and I am so obsessed with this. The blendability, the pigment of it is just, it's everything. And that's the Milani Cream Bronzer in Spilling Tea, and it looks like this. If you guys have not got your hands on this one, you guys definitely need to try this out because like I said, the blendability and the pigment is so amazing. And then to apply that, I do use the Makeup Shack T42 brush. So it's like a fluffy brush like this, and it honestly helps to get like right into those areas that I cream contour. So I'll get that and I'll just apply that kind of to the outer part of my face first, and then I'll kind of work that up to start to blend that up, and then I'll bring it down just a little bit. And can you guys see, like, I'm sure you guys seen how easy that blended out, and it's just everything you would need and more in a cream bronzer. Okay, so I know the lighting is a little bit off, but my camera that I have, I'm sorry, the like lighting that I have, it died on me and I'm charging it right now. But just for this part, I wanted to go ahead and just film because I don't want my makeup to kind of start doing anything crazy. So now we're going to go ahead and set everything. So as you guys can see, I have the cream bronzer and everything. But now to set everything, I do take my powder puff, and I do use two products to set my under eye now, which is the Huda Beauty Loose Powder in Pound Cake, and then I go in with the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation in 110. Before I would go in just with my Huda Beauty, but I follow this girl on TikTok and she applies her under eye with both, and honestly I do notice a big difference. And again, I do prefer my under eye bright, so if on camera it looks bright or really light compared to like everything else, it's because I prefer my under eye to look like that. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's mine. So what I'll do first is I'll get the pressed powder, which looks like this. I'll just rub that in and grab it with my powder puff, and then I'll tap off some of that on the back of my hand. Then I'll go directly into my Huda Beauty loose powder, and then I'll get that, tap it off, and then I just start to apply. And then I don't like to I don't like to bake my under eye anymore. So what I'll do is I'll initially apply it like this, but I'll go right back into like my powder puff, and then I'll just start to tap that into my skin, just because I feel like doing this gives me like a really soft and airbrushed under eye. And then to set my entire face, I'll go in again with the Fenty Pro Filt'r Powder Foundation. But this one is in the shade 230. So obviously it is on the darker side. And this is to set my entire face. And then I will go in with a different powder puff. And as you guys can see, they're very pigmented. And again, I'll just tap off some from the back of my hand. And then I'll just start to apply that everywhere else. But I will hold off on applying it here, just because I'm going to obviously go in with powder bronzer, and I don't want to apply too much powder and look like too cakey, which I've put it on before and it doesn't. But just to be on the safe side, I'll apply it everywhere else, and then with whatever I have left, then I'll just lightly apply that over, just to kind of obviously set it in place, and then I'll apply that everywhere else. Okay, we're back with the good lighting. Can you guys see what difference that makes? But now for powdered bronzer, I'm gonna go in again with Fenty Beauty, and this is her Instant Warmth bronzer, and this is in the shade Island Ting, and it looks like this. If you guys want a really good pigmented bronzer, I would recommend the Fenty Beauty ones. Another good one that I love is the Jaclyn Hill one, but as if you guys didn't know, she kind of like discontinued, or she's not doing any of her lines that she had. So the only one that I would be able to recommend you that they still have in store is the Fenty Beauty one, which again I love. So they both work out. And I'm gonna apply that with a big fluffy brush. As you guys can see, this one is actually, I got this off TikTok shop. If you know, you know. They were like a pack of 7 for like $3-4, so I got so many of them. But you guys just need like a big fluffy brush like this. I do apply this one. I don't want like a really like strong bronzer. If I do want more of like to apply, if I didn't do cream bronzer and I'm only applying powdered, I'll go in with like a more angled brush like this. And this one is the Morphe. There's no number on it, sorry, but it's just like an angled brush. But because I already do have the cream bronzer and I kind of just want to add a little bit more warmth to my face, I'll just apply it with like a big fluffy brush like this. And then again, I'm just going to apply some of that, and I'll kind of just tap that, kind of just like this. Okay, and then now for blush. I honestly have bought so many blushes. I was never really like a blush type of girl. And lately I've been like a blush type of girl because I've bought so many of them. I get influenced easily off of TikTok, so stay off TikTok. So I don't know if I want to go in with like a really pinky one. I'm sure you guys have seen like the Duvalin makeup going around. I don't know if I want to do that. But so I actually did get this kind of like blush combo off of this girl that I follow on TikTok, and her name is Cici MUA if I'm not mistaken. And they are the ColourPop blushes, and this one is in the shade Papaya, and this one is in the shade Flamingo. This one is more of like a corally color, and this one is like a very baby Barbie pink. So she goes in with both of them, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So first I'm going to take the coral color, and I'm going to take it on this Morphe X Ariel, and it's the A21. So again, it's like a pointed fluffy brush. So I'm going to take some of that coral one first, and then I'm going to apply that to kind of the higher parts right up here. And then to apply that pinky color, I'm going to take again the Morphe times Ariel brush, and this is the 22 brush. Again, I'm going to take some of this, tap it, and this one I'm going to kind of focus it on like the apples of my cheeks. But again, I am going to be blending it back into that papaya shade. And this combo is so good. And if you guys follow her, or if you guys want to go check her out, I definitely would recommend to check her out. It looks so freaking good on her. Okay, so I'm not gonna apply highlight, but what I am gonna apply that I recently got my hands on is the new Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Luminous blushes, and it's like a pigmented, it's like a blush, but it is like on the luminous side, so it is gonna give like a slight glow to it. I don't want to apply too much of this one. I just want to try this shade out. I did try the other shade, and I did make a TikTok, which I will put my TikTok somewhere on the screen, so you guys can go ahead and follow me on there. But I'm gonna take this one, and this one is in the shade Happy. I feel like it was gonna go really good with the blush combo that I have going on, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna apply it on this brush right here. It's a clean brush. I don't want to apply it with the one that I just applied from Lingo with, because that's like my blush brush and I don't want to mess it up. But I'm going to apply it with this. I'm just going to take a little bit because they are like on the pigmented side. So I'm just going to apply that just to the highest point right about here. And I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up, but it just gives like a little soft kind of glow to the blush. I like using this as like a blush topper. I don't know how it would look with just using it as like a regular blush. So that's pretty much it for like the entire face. And then like I said, I'm not going to do any eyeshadow because I wanted the main focus to be like the base of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and move on to lashes and then a lip, and then we are all done. So for mascara, I'm going to go in with the Benefit Bad Girl Bang mascara, and I'm just going to apply that to my top and my bottom lashes. Okay, so I went ahead and I applied lashes, and the lashes that I applied are the Lashbar LA lashes in the style Sophia, and this is obviously what they look like. Super cute. And now moving on to lips, and then to finish everything off, I'm going to take the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF3. And then I'm going to take the MAC matte lipstick in Act Natural, and then I'm going to apply that. And then on top of that, I am going to apply another MAC, and this one is the Amplified Cream lipstick in Bare Bling, and this one is more just like of a pinkier nude. Alrighty, and then to finish everything off, if you guys have not got your hands on this One Size setting spray, drop what you're doing and go get it, because I really feel like this makes my makeup last all day. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply that to my face. Alrighty, and this is it for my new updated makeup routine. I know it's been a very, very, very long time since I've uploaded a video, but I really do want to be more consistent on here, and I think I am going to, and this is my first video back. But yeah, I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys have not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And if you guys have used any of the products that I used or that I mentioned in this video, leave your comments down below, and if you like them or if you didn't like them, I really want to know. And if there is any future videos that you guys want to see, then again, let me know down below, and I will be more than happy to get that out for you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.